Welcome back, guys, to another deck list with Team CCG. Here today, we're gonna bring Tony's Red Ruthless Goku. So, go ahead and please explain to us, Tony, why Goku and why with the Ruthless Mastery.
So with Goku, Goku basically what his main function is just to generate extra actions throughout combat so that you can grab um, the better cards out of your deck. If you manipulate your discard pile a lot, you can pick out a lot of the best cards from your deck, and that's exactly what Ruthless is all about. You just use the cards that you like, put them in the discard pile, and then you just use them again. As and it's just as like that. If you're really good at manipulating the discard pile, especially the top and the bottom card, you really get a lot of use out of this Goku stack. Goku level 1 is just the when entering draw an extra card.
Right.
That's just great to start off with any game. Goku level 2, so you always have to keep in mind what's the first card that you play throughout the game.
Yeah.
Because more than likely you're going to bring it back. So if you rip into a good hand early, you can keep good hands for the remainder of the combat, for the remainder of the game as well. And then level 3, since it draws from the top and the bottom, again, drawing from the very first hand that you get, or the first damage that you take, and then, or just working with a mastery more here. This is really where you're able to really work with the mastery, where you play a card, and then you mastery back to your hand, and then after that's done, more than likely than not, your opponent's out of actions or cards in their hand. So then you Goku attack for a +4 life, and then pick it up, and then do it again.
Right.
And then once you get to level 4, it's just purely
Just tutoring whatever.
tutoring whatever answers you need to get through. If you don't need any, if you have all the materials that you have that you need in your hand, you could just tutor out anything. For what I would normally do is I would take out the static shot, and then with the static shot, it just makes everything unendurable for the remainder of combat, and that's pretty. You can't stop that.
Okay. So great. So Goku and Ruthless for the combos, and basically just re-abuse the cards that you really like.
Pretty much.
And all right, so let's start going over the list. What do you got for us?
So, first of all, we're going to talk about our events. So, obviously we have time. There's no need to explain that. Then we run 3 red stops. We run 3 because you need to make sure that you block some very crucial attacks like neck beams or defensive bursts or even energy webs. Then we have 2 confrontation because right now confrontation is pretty much one of the best non-styled events you can have in your deck, because it just throws out whatever combo pieces any other Goku could be using. You could also take out things like time or final flash, mess up a lot of decks that require like 1 key card in their hand.
Okay.
Next, we don't do MPPV, so we're running 2 kaio-kens so that we can just get up there and just make sure that we are using as many of the Goku abilities that we can per combat. Along with the kaio-kens, we play 2 Unleashed. This is going to be our main way of leveling. If you can find it early, it's pretty much the best. Because if you use it for your first turn, you Unleashed, search out an attached card, go to 2, and then if it's the bottom card of your discard pile, Goku to bring it back into your hand, and then keep going up. You can go from 1 to 4 very easily in one combat if you just get this off twice.
So why quick pause? Why 2 Unleashed and 2 Kaioken rather than 3 of the Unleashes or 3 Kaiokens? And why that ratio?
2 Kaio-kens because you can't have 5 Unleashed, and 2 Unleashed because I don't have 3.
Okay.
If I had 3, I would put 3, because as soon as you get Unleashed, you just jump up, and then you become a huge threat to your opponent using all of these Goku actions. Along with our Unleashed, we have the 1 Inferno, just to make sure that whenever you're using your mastery, you get a crit off, to just lower that anger and then make the attack up to -3 anger on 1 attack with the mastery on that action. Then we have 3 trailing blast. Now this is what I'm normally going to search with the unleash because I can use unleash to grab the trailing blast level, put it back to my hand, have an extra action that way, and then when I pick it up and play unleashed again, I searched out another one, add both to my hand, and then now I could just keep going. Normally you go one, search out one, play unleashed, search out the second one, play both of them, play both of them on the field, go to 4, and then play all 3. So
Right.
I generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra actions after off of using one card.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
It's pretty ridiculous, and I still have 4 other cards in my hand that you haven't yet to see.
Yeah. Plus Goku's actions to tutor
Goku's
the
actions,
cards.
all
And
that
your
good
mastery.
stuff. And my mastery that gives them extra actions and all that good stuff. So next for the energies, we saw the training blast. We have 3 static shot. Normally on level 4, this is what I said. You go search this out. You can't stop the unendurable on any level. It's gonna hit, other than 2. It's gonna hit for 5. It's gonna hit for 7. Even if you go to another against another Goku, it's still gonna hit for 5 life. Unendurable, hit raise your anger 2. You don't really care about the hit because you're leveling so much with Unleashed you don't really need to. But if you need to reset stages, it's great. And next we got Energy Blast because drills are a huge problem. Now with Orange Rampaging running the block drill,
You mean Retribution?
with Orange Retribution everywhere running the block drill, you really need to banish it as many times as possible and as early as possible. So if you need to replay the Energy Blast 2, 3, 4 times just to make sure they stop with the checkup and all that good stuff, you can do it and it's no problem. Then we have our blocks, alright? We run 2 red escapes. This is another way of just going up and down. If I prefer to red escape to 4 to then go back down to 3 for the next combat, that way I have the best Goku action in my opinion with the +4 life, and then I get to tutor the top or bottom card of my life deck that I can mastery later. And then once I go up to 4, I can just pick the card that I want.
So, why at 2? Why not 3 energy blocks?
Because I feel that this meta right now does not have many energy attacks in their deck. I feel like everyone running Goku is just gonna run the physical cards that's just gonna hit you really hard or lower your anger a lot. So with things, it really comes in handy with things like Yamcha, and everyone runs a little bit of energies in their deck now because they can kind of afford it. So now I'm just kind of punishing them for that.
Right. And it's not a priority with Goku. I mean, you're primarily a physical beats.
Yeah.
So you're not too worried about the
I'm not worried about the energies. It's just that if you're gonna use them, now I'm gonna punish you for it.
even more. Yeah.
So then we have Reconstruction going into the physicals. This is just the card that comes with the mastery. If you shouldn't be running, if you don't, you should be running this card with you have Ruthless. Gives you an anger when you banish it, for the mastery, and then you can set up for the mastery as well. Has 2 endurance and raises your anger. It's not much else you can want. Then we have, of course, 3 shoulder grab, crits for the remainder of combat. Then we want to generate more actions, so of course we play heel kick. Any anger that we gain, we're gonna just drop it down with heel kick. Make sure we're grabbing either the shattering leaps,
Yep.
or we're grabbing the double strikes, or even other things that can just destroy any answers that we have in our discard pile to just interrupt our opponent, or just keep that combat going as long as possible. So one of the perfect situations is to go, all right, double strike, double strike. If it stayed on the top, mastery, double strike, double strike. Then level 3 before I level, pick up double strike, add it to hand, then play double strike to go to level 4. And then if you're not unpreventable, search out the unendurable card, the status shot, play it, then go double strike again, and then you'll have that anger, so you can go heel kick, pick up the double strike, play it.
Yeah.
Up to 8 to 10 times, depending on how far you go.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can do the same thing with Shatter Leap. You could literally do 60 light cards of damage with just Shattering Leap and heel kick.
Yeah.
If you get it off, and if you do it right, when you have max stages as well. So that's pretty much the biggest combo in the deck. It just extends combat beyond comprehension. Other really good cards we have Sword Stab. 3 anger, AT4 raises your anger. It's half of a shattering leap. It's just, and with the endurance, it's just you can't not play it. Then we have 3 mule kick. The endurance, the wall breaker removal, or if they're also running unleash and they have something like Tree of Might on the board, you can banish that as well. Or if they're running something that kind of scares you, you can just detach it so that you can get all your other things off.
I know with testing that card, you seem to not like it as much anymore. Do you think you might have cut that card down to possibly 2 or 3 is a good number for it?
I think three is definitely a safe number because you never know who's going to throw a wall breaker at you. And the reason why I'm not liking it so much throughout this meta is because I haven't seen a lot of people play the wall breakers or the Android arm breakers at this current moment because, they're non-style, they don't hit that much. It doesn't really help them out too much, but, I mean, if they're ever out there, I'm ready for them. You have to be prepared because and especially since I'm leveling up with Unleashed, I'm not doing it by anger. Wall breaker doesn't really bother me too much anymore. So if I could, I would definitely drop this down to 2 through further testing.
Yeah.
Then we have tandem attack, which just became like one of my favorite cards in red now because of Goku. Because Goku goes in. Oh, I have 5 cards every combat. That's cool. I just played the most free attack in the game. You have 5 cards. I gain an anger. I still hit you, and I replace myself.
Yeah.
It's just, it was great before. I liked it because if someone VTPs, you have this effect. Now someone VTPs or just plays Goku, it just goes off.
Yeah.
Like it goes off a lot more now, and like I said, it's better now than it was before.
And Goku is very prominent in this meta. And
Yes.
it doesn't even take Goku. I mean, Yamcha decks can generate the extra cards.
Absolutely. People can draw with Resolute Mastery, and they can keep extra cards in their hand with the Blue Mastery and Orange and all this other stuff. So it definitely goes off, and it definitely helps out. So then here we're trying to make our deck a little unpreventable and unendurable so that we can make sure we're going through and hitting for as many life as we can. The aerial assault is in there, obviously, so if you reveal, you gain 2 anger. That'll help you level. 83, and mostly for the hit effect, you can't prevent for the remainder of combat, and that's very important because you have things that say, you just completely shuts off the Blue Mastery, any prevent, Omni blocks, anything that, and even just a hit, extra, just
Roshi.
3 more cards, just to make sure you're getting the crits, pushing out all the damage that you possibly can. When you're hitting Trailing Blast for 5 life, you want to make sure you get all 5 so you can crit them. All that good stuff, especially when you play 3 of them, 3 Trailing Blast in one combat. Then we have discard removal. We have the vaulted kick for the hit. Since most of the time you're at 3 or 4, this thing is going to banish either 5 or 6 cards from a discard pile, and everyone always has 2 or 3 cards that need to be banished.
So with discard power removal, a lot of people like to play the devastating blow because it's immediate. Why vaulted kick over a devastating blow which has the immediate anger control plus the discard power control and anger gain as well?
Well, simply because 98% of it is because Devastating Blow is not styled.
Okay.
If Devastating Blow were styled, I would definitely pick this over. If they just gave me Devastating Blow's effect, essentially it's the same thing. It just doesn't lower your opponent's anger, and it banishes more cards
Right.
from your opponent's discard pile. So I don't mind waiting for the hit because I can also, like I said, everyone has 2 or 3 cards that they need in their discard pile or they would like to keep in their discard pile, so you can bait out the blocks or just get times out and things like that so that you can continue on with your extended combat, going for the heel kicks and the shattering leaps and the double strikes and making sure you're just going up there.
Okay.
Then we have more drill and setup removal. I've been playing with this is a very recent card added to the deck because there's no way for me to get rid of setups, and expert assistance is really annoying. It really is. So if you can get the hit off to banish or to destroy the expert assistance, you've effectively saved yourself that combat.
And with red forceful strike, even performing it from the discard is immediate.
Yeah, so if you take it for damage and it's the top card, it's very easy to just mastery, put it in play. Now I can keep going for this combat. I don't have to worry about that anymore. You know, you're gonna pop VTPs if they didn't play it for some reason. You could pop a lot of things, even the block drill that's been giving you a lot of problems, the checkup drills, all this good stuff. Now we have Red Powerful Strike, which is probably one of the main ways that I would use to advance if I wasn't using the Unleashed. Before, when I tried to do naturally, this is what I would mainly go for, because you can use a card. If you use a card from your discard pile through your mastery, you gain 2 anger immediately. It's 4 stages. It's 4 stages with the mastery becomes 6 stages, which is good. Flat stages is very important to have in a deck. You never know when you're gonna need it, and then the hit effect effectively makes your next card 2 anger, because most of the cards in my deck have anger 1 on them, and if they don't, they have an extra anger. This card that's 3 anger if it hits, and then with Goku you could just fetch itself out. You play it. You play a card from your discard pile and say it's double strike. You play this, you gain 2 anger. You have 3 anger from the double strike. Then it goes in to the discard pile. Then you play Goku to pick it up. You put it down. You go to 4, and then you still have the double strike that's gonna hit. That's gonna give you 2 more anger when you play it the second time, and then you just keep going from there. It allows your level gets up there, and flat stages. It's just a nice card to have. Here we have 2 chops. The deck has been having some problems with endurance. It's not what I'm used to, so I played Chop because, again, it's got the flat stage damage. It can do a lot of flat stage damage. Then it has the anger and the endurance. It's a pretty
vanilla card.
It's pretty vanilla. It's not the greatest card in the deck, but it gets the job done. At least some of the time. Now, if I could, I would love to find something else to replace it with. But of course, I don't want to lose that endurance as well.
Right.
And then for physical blocks, this is a very physical meta, but since we're leveling a lot, we're not worried about it as much as normal, because we're just going up. Our AT is ridiculous, and all that stuff. So we play 3. Just the 3 resourceful block. Endurance 3, amazing. Stops the physical attack, exactly what we need. And then lowering your anger 1 so that you can pop off another Goku effect to then advance your level at the end is great, because you generate an extra anger. You stop the attack, generate an extra anger, possibly 2 anger. Not anger, actions. Possibly 2 actions, depending upon what level you're going to, and then you go back up to the end of combat, so that you can just do it all over again, and you reset your stages back to 10.
And besides the lowering your MP to generate the action, you also, in a way, it's almost like an additional block, because you generate extra stages, and then you reset your stages at the end by going back up.
Exactly. So there's a lot of different ways that you can look at different cards being blocks. For like Unleashed, if you're getting hit really hard, you just reset your stages, and then you can use Unleashed to lower your opponent and things like that.
Okay. How have you found the deck play out through testing and at the locals?
At the locals, we went to a local tournament not too long ago, and the deck was undefeated that night. We played different decks: Orange Yamcha, blue tag team Cell, orange Goku, a lot of orange decks. It's and orange used to be probably one of its worst matchups because they're able to recycle the block drill
With the checkup, orange checkup,
or with a checkup or the block drill, just being able to bring it back and adding extra blocks to your hand. It's really hard to capitalize on a deck that doesn't allow you to hit.
Okay. Anything you would like to change after testing so far? I mean, it's still a very early iteration of the build, but any cards you would like to maybe change?
If I could have my way in the world, I would definitely cut the chop for something that was a little more useful, something that brings more variety to the table. I would cut down the mule kick to 2 to be able to probably play a third of whatever card that I would add to the deck, and definitely throw in a third Unleashed.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Red Ruthless Goku. Um, so very strong deck. It's very good. Um, join us back next time to see what we have. This is Team CCG. We out.